Well, ladies and gents, cool cats and bad acts, it appears that food was going cold on the counter for a damn good reason. Sally Hogan's severed head has just rolled right on out of the ball return. Folks, what you are witnessing here is very real. Murder, I say. There's been a murder at Action Lanes.
Sundown Theater presents Murder at Action Lanes. Original script by Julia Bodiford, Ryan Davila, Jacob Drum, Lindsey Hall, Robert Linder, Matt McNabb, and Kelsey Smith. Created and directed by Kurt Van Zandt. Last time on Murder at Action Lanes, cunning Celtic con man Sally Hogan was cruelly cut down in the prime of his crime. Only 14 people were present at the time of his demise. Barstaff Scarlet, Dan, and Fishface, Dandy Randy, the Doo-Wop Devil. Sally's Muscle Mickey, Action Bowlers Bobby BB Gun Baldwin, Barbara Babs Turner, Vivian Brown, and Lenny Lightning LaRue. Gamblers Francis Shaw and Hiram High Roller Willis. Ezekiel Houlihan, Evangelist, Sally's crime boss rival, Janet Savella, and Raymond Barros, a dour detective in a dingy, dirty dive. When you turn on the lights in an old broom closet, the cockroaches will surely scatter. But what if, dear listeners, the exits have been locked tight? And what if, God forbid, our unfortunate drunk of an antihero finds what or whom he is looking for?
And Lenny Lightning has just blown chunks on lane 2.
Praise Jesus! The Lord always takes his vengeance. The judgment day has come for Action Lanes. Turn from your wickedness, all of you, and you may yet be saved.
They killed Sally! The Savellas! Janet Savella! I'm ruined! Where's the bitch? I'll rip her apart!
Now, I may act tough, but my blood is just as red as anyone's. I'm ashamed to say that the gruesome sight gurgling its way roughly out of the bowl return left me out of my mind with horror for a moment, and in that moment I lost sight of Janet. This was bad. Things were looking pretty grim for her, and by extension for me. I took a deep breath and let my training take over. I needed to take control of the situation. I knew Fishface, spitting phlegm and venom in every direction now that his meal ticket had bought the big one, would be no help. I walked quickly and calmly to the bar, found Scarlet crumpled up behind it. Listen, Scarlet, I know you're scared. You've seen something terrible. But we don't have much time, and I need you to be brave. There are some questions I need you to answer right now.
All right, Ray. I'll try.
Are you hurt?
No, I don't think so. His head, Ray!
I know. Now this is very important. Are the two big entrance doors the only way in or out of Action Lanes?
Yeah, only those.
No back door? Maybe an employee exit or a fire escape?
No, we were supposed to add one to comply with the new fire code, but Fishface is too cheap. Sally fixed it all with the city inspector.
And can the entrance doors be locked to keep everybody inside?
Yeah. Sally had me rig something up to lock it down secure whenever he did business up here. I got the keys. Take them.
Thanks, Scarlet. Stay behind the bar and give me a shout if anyone gives you any trouble. I'd wasted too much time already. I had to get this mob under control. I pointed my heater at the ceiling and fired off a ringing shot. Everybody shut up! Eyes on me!
Are you crazy? You can't shoot that in here!
As I've just demonstrated, Fishface, I'm the one with the gun, so I can do anything wherever I want.
Listen, you filthy pig! You gotta catch that bitch, that Ice Sally! The last lightning strike knocked out all the phones! You gotta call it on the cruiser's radio and get the fuzz out looking for her!
That's enough out of you. Now everybody listen up unless you want the same. I knew I shouldn't have given Fishface my right hook, but at least it distracted the mob while they all helped him up. In the commotion, I bolted the doors and took stock of the room. All right, listen up. There's been a murder.
Praise God! I say praise the one true God! Sally Hogan was a man of violence, and he has met his violent end! As Jesus says in the Gospel of Matthew, they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Live by the bowling lane, die by the bowl return.
There's a killer here at Action Lanes, and the only way in or out of here is through those 2 front doors. No one has entered or exited those doors since I arrived. That means that the killer must still be here, and every one of you is a suspect.
Bullshit! Every soul in here knows it's Janet. Whole town knows about you and her. Don't try and hide that rotten murderer.
If you're right, Mickey, then I'm sure that's what the investigation will determine shortly, and no one else has anything to worry about. I'm going to question Miss Sabella right now, as a matter of fact. Where has she disappeared to?
I saw her go into the ladies' room, Detective Barrows.
Thank you, son. Now everyone behave yourselves. I'm going to have a quick word with Miss Sabella, and then I'm going to want to take statements from all of you. I saw Janet, looking cool as a cucumber, studying herself in the washroom mirror. She had to understand the hot water she'd gotten herself in. I didn't think Janet would have killed Sally, at least not this way, at this time, and at this place. Regardless, it'd be hard to convince that mob outside that she wasn't involved. And in less than 2 hours, dispatch would report me to the Sarge as AWOL, and they'd send someone after me. This would all get out, and the case would be out of my control. I'd be fired, best case scenario. Drinking on duty was one thing, but letting a brutal gang murder happen when all the evidence pointed to my illicit one-time squeeze as the culprit was quite another. Probably my best shot to stay out of the cooler was to convince Janet to leave with me under the pretense of arresting her, have her get all the cash she could squeeze from her father, and beat feet out of the country to start over together somewhere. I doubted she would go for it. I wasn't really all that sure myself whether it was actually a good idea or just a naive fantasy.
Excuse me, officer, but this is the ladies' room.
Then neither of us belong here, do we? Why'd you sneak off from the crowd?
You heard those fine citizens out there screaming for my blood, didn't you? Figured it'd be a good idea to take a powder.
I promised you a long time ago that I'd always keep you safe. For me to do that now, you have to be honest with me about what's going on.
Aren't you supposed to radio dispatch for backup for this kind of thing? You gonna keep an unruly mob of crooks, boozers, and bowlers locked in here all by yourself?
Don't play games with me, Janet. I just want some answers.
Didn't you almost get suspended from the force the last time you stuck your neck out for me? Maybe it's best for both of us if you just give me those keys and let me out of here. Then you can radio your buddies at the station and say I got away.
My days on the force are through if it gets out that you gave Sally Hogan a Sicilian haircut right under my nose. And I'll be in jail before you are if I just let you walk right out of here.
So why don't you call it in if you're so worried about law and order?
Because I'm a chump, I guess. A chump that still cares for you. And this looks bad, Janet. Bad for you and bad for me because of what we had together. And I must be the king of all the chumps because, God help me, I don't think you did it.
You never were much of a detective. I got a good lawyer and all the judges owe me a favor, so you don't gotta worry about me.
A man's head rolling out of a ball return when the lanes are packed. That's not your style.
You don't think I've got the drama in my heart for that?
I don't think you got the rocks in your head for that. If you had killed Sally, no one would have found any of the pieces.
A rolling head sends a real message, though. Real medieval. Sally should have stayed in his own castle. The action in these lanes are mine.
Do you want to go down for this, Jan?
I'm not going down for anything. But yes, I'm honest enough to admit that this has been a pretty good night for me so far.
Why are you sticking in this business? For your father? You don't owe him anything. How about we sneak out those doors and run down to Mexico?
The action ain't hot in Mexico. Just the weather. I'm done being grilled by you unless you're gonna arrest me, and we both know you don't got the stones for it.
She walked right past me out the bathroom door without giving me a second glance. It looked like Mexico was bust. I had to find out who really killed Sally Hogan before the station came down looking for me, or it was all over. Janet wasn't going to help me. I needed someone trustworthy to keep a watchful eye on the crowd as I questioned suspects. The only trustworthy person I knew at Action Lanes tonight was Scarlett, the bartender. but she seemed to be taking Sally's murder hard, and I wasn't sure I could ask much more of her after all she had already done for me. Then I thought of the kid, the one who noticed Janet going to the powder room, the one who was pleading with BB earlier about getting his pinboy job back. I didn't know him, but I knew he wasn't a gangster. Not a local one, anyway. He was plenty big, and Fishface mentioned him being in the service, and that was something. Hey, you kid.
Yes, Detective Barrows?
Detective Barrows, she calls me. If you know a washed-up detective like me who only darkens this dump's doorstep when he forgets to forget about women, then I guess you must know pretty much all the hoods and hustlers that come around here.
I sure do, Detective Barrows.
Call me Ray, please. Good practice for when they take my badge for all this. What is your name?
My name is Dan. Ray. I was Action Lane's top pinboy before the war.
Korea?
Yes, sir.
At ease, Private, Dan. So, what brought you back here? Not much call for pinboys these days.
Gosh, don't I know it. I get back and find out they've replaced me with that obscene pin-setting contraption, and I just... When you come up on my side of the tracks, there just isn't much else for you in a town like this. No education, you know. And with a baby face like mine, good luck with the wise guys letting you work the rackets. They said they'd let me scrub out the washrooms for spare change, though. And I still love this place.
You see much action in Korea?
I've seen my share, sir. I don't scare easy.
Good. 'Cause I need someone to watch my back, and there isn't another human being in this den of vipers that I would trust further than I can throw them.
If you're so worried, why not unlock the doors and radio your buddies?
I don't have any buddies. They catch Big Boss Savella's daughter in your boudoir one time, and none of the flatfoots, crooked or straight, want to know you.
You and Janet?
What can I say? I guess you aren't the only one crippled by a lack of education and good judgment.
So you're gonna cover for her?
That's neither here nor there. I don't think she did it. But if the paddy wagon shows up and crashes this party, she's the most likely suspect.
Nah, not Janet. She's hard, but she ain't a showboat. Don't you think it might have just been some terrible accident? All those moving parts in those machines. I always thought they ain't safe. You're just asking to get your necktie caught in it as you're walking by.
No one is going to believe that Sally Hogan ended his illustrious career by being dumb enough to get his necktie caught in a pin setter.
Yeah, maybe not, but still.
You listen to me, Dan, and let me do the thinking on this. No one has left since Sally rolled out that ball return. The person who did it must still be here. I just want to talk to everyone in here to kind of get all the facts straight before I radio the station. I need you to keep your eye on the rest of the scum while I work them over one at a time. If anyone tries to leave or gets rowdy, you knock them down just like you did in Korea.
We did a lot more than knock them down in Korea.
No need to get too rough. You just keep everyone calm and bring them to me as I call for them. Start with that crazy preacher. If we're assuming that Janet is innocent, then he's suspect number 1. Do you know if we can get into Sally's office with these keys I got from Scarlett?
Yeah, that brass one unlocks the office door. At least it used to.
How about the kitchen? We can keep that secure for another interrogation room?
It should work all right for what you need.
Good. I'll go set up the office for questioning if you'll sweep the kitchen for hiders out. Then go fetch the god-bothering coot and bring him to me. Then get back out here and watch the crowd. Yell if you need anything.
Will do, Ray.
Oh, and, before you hit the kitchen, if you could help Fishface get rid of the, mess on the Lane 3 ball return, that would be great. Tell Fishface to put Sally's head in the freezer unless he'd rather just leave it in the ball return. It wouldn't be the most disgusting thing in this place, I'm sure. In the movies, the killer is never the most obvious suspect, but I've found that life rarely works that way. That screeching magpie of a preacher seemed to have something against all the sinners here, and over the course of the evening I'd seen him harass pretty much everyone in the place. I wanted to know what he and Sally had been fighting about earlier before we'd had our drink together.
I must respect and honor the ways of God. I say unto you, O Lord, your generosity knows no bounds. Truly, through your infinite wisdom, the wicked are punished. The heretics, the schemers, the sinners shall all meet you and find themselves wanting.
Could someone please shut him up?
Been looking for a reason to throw this candy ass out all week.
Cool it, mister. A man just died. Of all people, you should have the most respect.
I respect God Almighty and none above him.
Can it?
Tonight, we have witnessed what the debauchery of this place leads to. My children, leave and save yourselves before it is too late.
You would be just bitchin', Hiram? Please stop calling me that. $10 says someone breaks and goes ape on the square.
Make it 20 and you're on.
You dare gamble in the presence of the Lord's work!
Ooh, how much you bet he did it himself, high roller?
This nut job? A killer? Yeah, I'll take that action.
Enough!
Get your hands off of me!
You, Hiram, should be thankful you were not chosen to answer for the Lord's vengeance.
It's high roller. And I don't answer to no god except the almighty dollar.
You shall be cleansed in the name of the Lord! You shall all be cleansed!
Detective Barros needs to question you, sir. I'm going to have to ask you to come with me.
The end of bowling is at hand. God shall strike down all who defy him. Pray for your souls.
Pastor Houlihan to see you, Ray.
Bring him in.
How dare you touch a servant of the risen Jesus? May the Lord strike you both blind. I don't have to stand here and take persecution from sinners.
Thanks, Private. I'll take the holy roller from here. You stay just outside and keep watch on the rest of the Boy Scouts out there.
You sure you'll be all right, Ray? He's a little...
Seems to me he's more like a lot, but I've handled worse, believe me. I'll call for you when I decide who I want to question next.
Okay, Ray. You know best.
An officer of the law, drinking his nights away in a den of sin, persecuting a servant of God. Is this what we pay our taxes for? President Eisenhower will hear about this.
Even the crazies like Ike, what a world. You keep screaming about being persecuted, Father.
Not Father. True Christians have only one Father, and that is our Father in heaven.
Apologies, I thought...
You thought, because my name is Houlihan, and my hair is red, that I was one of those papist idolaters. My father left that great whore of Babylon back in the old country, and the Houlihans have been proud Protestants ever since. I am Brother Houlihan, servant of the Most High God, and I demand that you release me at once.
I'm not trying to persecute you, Brother Houlihan. I just need to ask you a few questions about anything you might have seen.
It seems if you were investigating a murder, you might start by interviewing the many gangsters that are present here. But the Word of God tells us that in the last days the church shall be persecuted. The wicked will be called good, and the good will be called wicked. The cursed Reds are trying to wipe true Christians from the face of the earth.
Now see here, preacher. It's that kind of misanthropy that's got me curious about exactly where you were in that blackout.
I was where I always am. Walking with the Spirit of God.
I don't doubt it for a minute, but I was more interested in your earthly location.
Blasphemer! Bewitched by worldly concerns and killing the spirit of faith. The devil has his claws in this country, and you are his servant, detective. Just like your commie brothers, the Federal Reserve, the Internal Revenue Service, and the Department of Education. You communists have infiltrated our once righteous government and deceived President Eisenhower to enact your hellish plan. Those radical judges forcing integration down our throats, mocking God Almighty's holy order. Next thing you know, sodomites will be teaching our children that we evolved from monkeys, and a woman will be able to divorce her husband for no reason at all.
Thanks ever so much for the sermon, but what I asked was what you were doing during the blackout.
What I always do here. God's work. I castigate the sinners here who refuse to heed my message of love and redemption through Jesus Christ.
Do you believe in violently castigating sinners, Houlihan?
I don't answer to you, detective. I'm a free American, and I only answer to God Almighty. You can crucify me if you like, but I will not bow to your false authority.
Crucifixion is starting to sound very tempting, but in this state we use the gas chamber. If you don't want to end up there, I need you to tell me everything you know.
I refuse to bend my knee to you, detective. I have a right not to speak.
You might have that right, but you must realize how this makes you look.
The only one whose opinion of me matters is God.
If that's the way you want it. Get out of here, but stay close. Dan, my deputy, will keep an eye on you. We aren't done with you yet. Like I said, in real life, the killer is almost always the most likely suspect. And right now, that's definitely Houlihan. If we're going to prove it's the crazy old servant of the Lord, I need something that puts him at the scene of the crime during the blackout. No one saw them together or witnessed the murder. I need some solid evidence or witness testimony to collar the preacher for this. Dan, go get Mickey.
Right, yes, sir.
I seem to recall a little interaction I barged in on when I went to go acquire a couple of drinks from the bar. Sally and Ezekiel seemed to part ways on tough terms at that point. Sally's lackey, Mickey, was there too. I wonder if he'll give me anything I can use.
Here's Mickey, sir.
Thank you, son. Go keep an eye on the preacher for me.
Yes, sir.
Hey there, Mr. I'm sorry, Mickey, I don't know your last name.
Not sure it matters, Detective. Unless you're booking me.
No. I'm gathering a little information. Where were you when Sally got killed?
I wasn't there.
That's for sure, or he might not be dead. Unless you're the one that killed him.
I didn't kill him. I wouldn't.
I know. But where were you?
Look. I was reading. That's Sally's blood there. And dropped the book when I saw him. Not him, his...
Yeah. Okay, what book is that?
The Basket of Flowers. Sally gave it to me I know it's for kids, but it's good. I was using my lighter to read it. I could not stop.
Mickey, son, that excuse isn't going to hold up in court, and you know it. Now, I know you didn't do it, okay? I know how much you love Sally, so help me out. Earlier, as I was coming up to the bar, I saw that preacher, Ezekiel, exchanging a few sharp words with Sally. You remember what happened there?
I'm not sure I want to say.
Why is that?
Not sure it's my place.
Look, Mickey, I like you. I like quiet types. But seeing as how you're always with Sally, it's a little suspicious that his muscles so conveniently happened to act the bookworm right at the time of his death, right? Hell, I might have seen you with my own eyes reading from that there book in the blackout. Or I might not have. So, right then, at the bar, what happened with the preacher and Sally? Tell me everything as true as you can, and maybe it'll help jog my memory.
This is all I'll say. Bobby Baldwin, BB Gun. He's been acting strange all night. I've known him since he started. He was 14 then. The man now. I've never seen him the way I saw him tonight. He was angry, anxious.
Is that so?
That is all I'll say. Am I free to go?
Yes, son, you're free to go. It wasn't much, but it was a lead. Honest to God, I'd hoped I'd get more out of Mickey. Best I can do is talk to BB Gun. Quick stop at the bar, and I'll go track him down. Just my luck to shake the beat for a few hours of pining and maybe a quick lay just to end up taking on a gruesome case like this solo. At least I can still get my pathetic pining in at the same time. 2 birds and all of that.
Next up here is a little something from the Appleby sisters off their 32 record. Just seeing as how for some reason Bobby Baldwin's still bowling at a time like this. Maybe he could use a little night music, huh?
There's a nervous energy hanging over the place, thicker than the smoke and the smell of booze. It's infectious. I can feel it trying to pull me in along with everyone else in this joint. Deep breath. Gotta keep myself from seeming too antsy. Bobby's over on the lanes alone, waiting for the pins to be reset, sitting with some hot pink ball in his hand and staring at nothing, looking green around the gills. I've seen that look 1,000 times. Shock. Guilt, maybe. Kid looks like he might have been crying, too. I've done enough stupid, low-down shit in my life to know what regret looks like. Better take it easy. I move too fast with this and he'll shut down completely.
Oh, man.
Hey, Bobby, how you holding up?
None of these balls are right. The weight's too much or too little, and the balance is all wrong. Dan better find my ball. I don't understand how I could get lost.
I'm sure it'll turn up. Mind if I bend your ear for a moment?
Sure, I guess. If you don't mind me trying out some more balls. I don't seem to be able to sit still.
Oh, sure. Don't mind me, it won't take too long. So, kid, seems like Sal really took you under his wing, huh?
Yeah, he did.
You two really spent a lot of time together. Seems like he was grooming you for something big.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say that. I don't think...
Come on. I heard he started to take you along to meetings, show you around town. I've seen you myself over on 7th. You're not calling me a liar, are you, kid?
Yeah, no. I guess you're right, but...
You don't seem too enthusiastic, Bobby. Now, why is that? You know how many kids your age would kill, and I do mean literally, for a gig like you got. Sal's a good guy, isn't he? Regular Robin Hood, right? Sounds like you were made in the shade, and instead of smiles, all I see are sour grapes. You want to explain that to me?
Well... Sally, where are we? I thought we were heading straight to the game.
Oh, sure, kid. Just one quick stop. Won't take a minute. Do me a favor, stay and guard the car, would ya?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Good kid. 2 shakes, yeah? Come on, Mickey. You're with me.
And tonight at 6:30 we have the exciting finale of The Lone Ranger. The Lone Ranger rides for the last time. Don't miss it. In other news...
hell with it.
Now, Ralphie. I can call you Ralphie, right? Instead of Raphael after all these years? Of course I can. Now, Ralphie, that is not what I like to hear. Not at all. How long have we been pals? You know the rules, right, buddy? How many days over are you now?
A couple of weeks? I know, Sally. I'm good for it. I swear. I just...
See, now, Ralphie, my biggest pet peeve is a liar. Can't stand him. Can't excuse him. It's like an allergy, really. And you know as well as I do that you, my old pal, are 5 weeks behind on payments. 5 weeks. Can we start hearing a little honesty now? Less gum flapping, more truth telling, yeah?
Okay, you're right. I'd lost count. I'm so sorry, Sally. I swear, I'll make this right. I can make this right.
Oh, yeah? And how you gonna do that, pal? Maybe we should take a little collateral to make sure you're actually good for it.
No, please, no. I'll do whatever you want, Sal. Whatever you want, please, just do.
Look at what you've done, you damn dirty roach. Hand-picked just a few hours ago, a Juliet rose, and now you've gone and crushed it into my lapel. Mickey, I'm done.
Ollie.
What a headache. Mickey, shut her up, will ya? There's a lad.
Bobby.
Bobby! I thought I told you to stay in the car. Bobby!
I'm just here to bowl, alright? I'm always just here to bowl. I ain't saying nothing about Sally. I'm no fink.
Whoa, Bobby, I never claimed you were. Though I can't help but wonder what's got you so defensive. It sounds like you wanted out. Of the business altogether, or of this particular arrangement?
I never wanted fame or success or even power like that. Like I said, I want to compete. I love the game.
So, you wanted to go straight, join the beer leagues and make money the honest way, real sponsors and an alley full of honest fans, without all the riffraff, yeah?
Yeah, I guess so, but I didn't know how to bring it up. I don't know how to make it happen on my own.
Hard to imagine Sally letting his golden goose fly free. How badly did you want that freedom, Bobby? What would you do for it?
What? Nothing. Look, I'm riffraff too. Always have been. I came from nothing, from nowhere. And Sally gave me a shot. He took me in when I was starving and desperate, and I was no one. I'd be dead in a gutter without Sally Hogan. And I'm not about to forget that. I'll never forget that.
Sure, kid, sure. But we all get desperate from time to time. We all do things we regret.
No! I can't believe you. I could never. Why are you even talking to me anyway? It's obvious what happened, isn't it? That creep Ezekiel should be in handcuffs on his way to lockup now. What are you wasting all this time for?
Really now? You sound pretty sure of yourself. Look, I've got no love lost for that moralistic shitbird. He's half crazy and I can see him snapping, but where's the motive, Bobby? He's managed to preach all around town without murdering anyone, so why start now? I've got to take a look at this from all sides, and there's more than a few possibilities here, kid.
Oh, he's way more than half crazy. He's totally deranged. He's always been that way. Sally said that when they were growing up, Zeke used to line up all the kids and...
Hold your horses there, Bobby. What did you just say? When they were growing up? You mean to tell me that preacher and Sally went way back? Grew up in the same neighborhood? Talk, kid, come on.
No, I didn't mean that. It's not... Look, I'm done, all right. I'm canned. I just lost all the footing I've earned over the past few years, and I got no idea what's coming for me next. I'm not going to dig a deeper hole. Just forget it, okay? I was misspeaking.
I don't know, Bobby. That sounded like some perfect diction to me.
I was misremembering then, okay? I've cooperated well enough to piss off a few people in this place, all right? So I'm done talking. I need to focus here, okay? I've got to find my ball. I just need to find my ball and get my game back on track.
How you holding up there, Private? Preacher giving you much trouble?
No, sir, not really. We've just been talking. Reminds me a little of our army chaplain. He was loud, too.
Sounds like a real dream. Listen, I need to talk to the preacher again. I think I'm getting to the bottom of this.
Really? How's that?
Can't quite say yet. Houlihan!
Keep your head in all situations. Endure hardship. Do the work of an evangelist. Discharge all the duties of your ministry.
All right, preacher man, spill.
Have I not already submitted to your scrutiny? You must allow me to continue attempting to save the souls of these wretches.
I don't have to allow you anything. You're being questioned, and I don't give a damn if that halts your crusade.
You cannot delay the Lord's work, detective.
I'm not talking about the Lord, all right? I'm talking about you. Now tell me, did I hear right from BB? You and Sally have known each other since you were tots?
Yes.
You want to elaborate there?
Just as a shepherd has to weed out wolves from his flock, so too am I interested in distancing myself from my involvement with him.
Not an answer. Give it to me straight and do it now. How do you and Sally really know each other?
Samuel was my brother.
Why didn't you mention this before?
I choose not to dwell on my past. Samuel gave up the family name and became Sally Hogan. He turned his back on our parents and our God.
Save the sob story. I've heard them all. I'm trying to solve your brother's murder. You were fighting with him before he was iced, and now you're praising your insane God that he's dead. That makes you my top suspect.
It matters not, detective, for no one here struck down that sinner but the Lord himself.
If you didn't murder him, Reverend, why don't you give a statement about everything you witnessed tonight and help me find the truth? Do you just not care that your brother is dead?
He broke tradition! I am a man of the Lord, as was our earthly father, and his before him, and his before him. But Samuel decided to defy his father above and below, to pursue a life of crime, debauchery, and sin. He may as well have spat in the face of God. Our mother was never the same, and our father refused to leave his flock, so I took it upon myself to leave everything behind and spread the evangelical message to the world and Samuel himself. His lifestyle was an insult to all our family has ever stood for. You ask me if I care that my brother is dead, detective. I say unto you, unto everyone here, my brother Samuel has been dead to me for years.
This has been a Sundown Collaborative Theater production. For early access and bonus content, subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/sundowntheater. Tune in October 21st for episode 3 of Murder at Action Lanes.